Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the BEST part number 1EC4. This is a standard cam. This is a cam available from BEST that would be called a standard cam, and the term standard is more of a defining term or a technical term that will tell us the type of cam that you are requesting. You'll have applications that will state requires standard cam, and then you'll have lock manufacturers who produce cams, and one of them will be a standard cam. And a standard cam is going to always be this relatively thick and straight, relatively long shaped cam that will work in a variety of generic applications. Alarm bypasses and exit devices, key switches, mortise locks from the 1920s and 30s, certain other types of locks that just require a standard cam to make them function, to permit them to function correctly. You're going to bump into the requirement of standard cams all the time in these auxiliary pieces of hardware, where, like the exterior trim on an exit device. It's going to take a standard cam because you're just flipping a rocker back and forth to lock the thumb piece to unlock the thumb piece. Standard cam. Now, there are two links below this video. One is the product brochure, and that's a handy document because it will allow you to, if we're talking about cams, to understand BEST mortise and rim cylinder housings. In particular, if we're talking about a mortise housing, if we're talking about a cam, you'll want to take a look at specifically page 2, because that will show you how to put the part number together, to page 4 if you need to define the specific length, and then page 8, I think it's page 8, to get to the cams. Okay, so yesterday, in fact, I was detailing a project for a client that had the need for a cylinder that had to work on a 2 1/4 inch thick door with the mortise deadbolt centered in the door, a particular manufacturer's lock that required the Corbin A01 cam, which would be their C161, and it was for an alternative, a boutique manufacturer of lock sets that required that cam. Oh, the third thing was small format. They had to have small format. So the go-to is going to be BEST. That catalog allowed me to quickly detail all my part numbers, get my length to compensate for the 2 1/4 inch thick door, and then pick up the proper cam so that the cylinder will work in the lock case correctly. That link to the cut sheet will show you the C4 cam and all of the other sister products to it. Let's take some dimensional properties. They have an overall length from the center line of the two holes for pinning that to the back of the housing, and the tip of the cam at 0.703, and I can kind of gauge that here just by sight. And I could say that, yeah, I would say 703 is certainly accurate. This is going to have a diameter over, actually a length of the shoulder. Let's take that next. And not all these dimensions are important, but just for the sake of archiving them. 0.48 inch from here to the tip here, 0.48. The diameter of the head, or of the body of the cam, not that it really matters, at 0.572, thickness of the head of the cam, 0.3, right on the nose, that's what they've got, and then a thickness of the cam itself, not that this really matters, 0.096 thick. Okay? So when you're putting together a lock or a mortise cylinder housing from BEST into someone else's lock set, this would be a great way to do it. Using a C4 is probably going to be just exit device trim, alarm bypass, key switch, that kind of stuff. Alarms, surface mounted alarms by other companies will use a standard cam, if not a rim cylinder. The ability to be able to take the BEST small format concept and install it into other people's locks is certainly not a new concept. BEST has probably offered these cams for several decades. But in today's hardware industry, it's very common to be able to take manufacturer A's material and install it onto manufacturer B's product as well, and to cross-install things. And that allows a lot of flexibility to the end user. I would think that it's more of a case of the manufacturer coming to the ultimate conclusion, if you've got a public project that's being bid and and your lock is not the winning lock that's going to be used on the project, you would analyze what held us up. Why didn't we get that project? We know they loved our keying system. Well, the lock portion may have been too expensive. And I think that all of the manufacturers listed on that page would agree that that is reality, and that evidenced by the fact that every manufacturer makes parts that will work on other manufacturers' parts. You could say to yourself, well, they probably concluded, well, if I can't sell you my lock, I would sure love to at least sell you something. So use my cylinder. So you'll have applications where small format, like for the government, small format, especially the military, is what is used. There must be hundreds of thousands or more, millions of doors that have small format, best small format housings, cores installed. Well, if you're dealing with taxpayer dollars and you're doing a public project, you're going to look at 3 lock manufacturers. Well, you already know small format, no sub, is going to be required. But you might look at Schlage or Yale or some other brand lock set and be able to choose what is the best fit for what we want to use. We happen to love this other manufacturer's lock body, but we're going to for sure use best cores on the project because it's what we have and it's what we want to use. The portability of the system, the ability to instantly extract and insert a new core into a housing, invented by Frank Best, the founder of Best, in about 1921. That advantage is clear and obvious. Cloned, copied countless times over the decades. The ability to make that portable, to control the privileges and rights over that lock at that moment instantly within seconds, is why people will continue to use it. However, Best also offers exceptional technical support as well. I don't think that their product is around, alive and well, a century later just because you can instantly remove a core and stick something back in. Betamax was a superior technology as well. It's the fact that you can get good customer service from Best is why I think they really are as important today as ever. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Best products that we sell. This client happened to order a whole run of cams to keep their kit full, or any other Best product. Please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you very much.